Williams will step into the starting lineup, and also Wyatt Canessa, who was injured in the Missouri game, able to play tonight, we think, but is out of the starting lineup tonight. Sanaya Copeland will get her first start of the season. Minnesota off quickly, and again, they score points, Wayne, over 90 a game.
And that's one of the ways they do, pitching the ball ahead in transition, looking for quick threes. They've got 4 guards that can all bring the basketball up themselves, all create space and opportunity, all have a quick trigger and are capable scorers.
Good backdoor cut, Samaya Nichols off the glass on the assist from Reagan Williams to get it started.
And a nice job there by Reagan Williams. You know, you'd mentioned the change in the starting lineup for the Jayhawks, but what a luxury for Coach Snyder is both of the new additions in this starting lineup here have starting experience all of last season.
Airball missed from the baseline, but put up and in on the offensive glass by Tori McKinney.
Nice job, Tori McKinney, being right place, right time, understanding that shot was coming from the opposite baseline. Most times those misses are long.
Nichols from 16 shows the jumper game to go along with the early drive. 4 quick points for the all Big 12 guard. So look at the starting 5 for the Gophers. They have 5 in double figures, a 6 that's at 9.5 points per game. And again, they're averaging 92 points per game to start this year and giving up just 42. One of the top differentials in the nation, doing it with defense, but then turning it into transition the other direction. McKinney on the foul, her first.
It's always nice to see Coach Plitzu White bringing a team on the road, their first power conference opponent, not only with the ability to score, but also defend, because defense is something that always travels.
Reagan Williams, the 15-footer, is off the iron. Rebound to Minnesota, looking to push up court. Grholski tried to dump it inside. Lily Meister got a hand on it. Meister, the Indiana transfer in her first season with the Jayhawks, as she knows the Gophers awfully well from her days in the Big Ten.
Nice job, Meister there with high hands, deflecting that post entry as Hart was wide open, which would have been an easy catch and score had that deflection not taken place.
Inside to Sophie Hart, their leading scorer, blocked by Meister. Hart averaging 13.8 a ball game. And again, a bunch of players right the same average. They have spread the ball well, shared it, and certainly scored it to start the season. Expect a high-paced game here tonight. Meister for 3, showing her range.
A nice job, Meister working herself into the offensive side of the equation. It started with a deflection, then continued with a great wall up against Hart. Then she felt like she had earned the right to be able to shoot this nice 3 here.
Meister's third 3 of the season, averaging 7 points and 6.5 boards. Nice impact transfer from the portal, addition to the Jayhawks post position.
You know, there's few better ways to give yourself confidence offensively than to start the game with 2 really nice defensive plays, as we saw there by Meister.
Miss on the inside. Couple of subs in, including Briley Glenn, the K-State transfer, wearing number 12. And Tonga just had the rebound there. She's a transfer from San Jose State.
I imagine we're going to see some pretty significant subbing patterns for the Gophers, as you don't score 92 points a game and play at the pace that they like to play, with leaning on only 6 players, as Jayhawks nearly turn the ball over on that possession.
Now we'll look back to Coach Brandon for the play. Nichols being guarded by Glenn. We used to see that a little bit. The Jayhawks and Wildcats, and now Glenn, impact transfer for Minnesota. Kansas City, Missouri product, Barstow High School. Nichols on the drive, goes baseline and good. Samaya Nichols off to a start. She's got a quick 6.
Yeah, and this is something that the Jayhawks are really going to need her to do, is to be aggressive offensively very early, as Jalea Davis, who's been a significant offensive contributor for the Jayhawks, is going to be out.
Battle on the drive to the baseline. Meister got a piece of that one, but Battle with the offensive rebound. Amaya Battle making her 107th game, 101st start. She's just the 5th Gopher all time to go over 1,000 points and just crossed the 500 assist plateau.
Just some real important continuity and experience that you have there on your team, that you're not surprised that she was able to make that heads-up play.
Sanaya Copeland with the drive, missed the first one, got it back and got fouled. So Copeland will head to the free throw line. Mentioned being able to plug back in people with starting experience. Sanaya Copeland, season ago, 29 starts in 30 games. This year coming off the bench primarily, but back into a starting role tonight.
And Sanaya Copeland, like Lily Meister, is also very familiar with this opponent, as Copeland's a Wisconsin transfer, albeit been here for one season already, another Kansas City native, and getting back into the starting lineup here in this contest tonight, but with Laia Canessa going down midway through the first half in that game against Missouri on Saturday, Sanaya was able to get some really meaningful minutes and get her confidence up, ready for tonight's matchup.
Just shows you basketball's a small world, isn't it? You'll always meet somebody you once faced or circle back around, and a few of these players familiar with each other, albeit in different jerseys. The pass ahead from Nichols off the hands of Copeland and out of bounds. Copeland will check out. In for the first time, freshman Libby Fandel, the freshman guard out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Also, Nadir El-Tayeb checked in before the free throws, the 6'4" center out of Seattle in her senior campaign. Wearing 33 for the Jayhawks. She'll be defending down low against Hart. Quick double team, and Nichols got the steal for a second, threw it back in, and Hart got it back. Glenn for three. That one's off the iron. Evans tracks down the long rebound for Kansas. And we have a player down, and that's Nichols by Overland Park and Blue Valley North High School. She's now missing her second game with that lower leg injury, wearing a walking boot on her left foot tonight on the bench.
A couple of encouraging signs there by Samaya Nichols. Number one, you see her putting some weight on that knee with a little bit of help from the training staff. And then number two, she wasn't escorted all the way into the tunnel back to the locker room. She's sitting here at the end of the bench, receiving some treatment. So there's a strong likelihood that she might be able to play through that injury and get back in this contest.
Vandell the rebound. Here comes Canessa. Looking inside to El-Tayeb. Nice defensive play by Sophie Hart to knock it out of bounds. Kansas will have it when we come back. Jayhawks an early game, so that's I'm doing my quick math here, Wayne. That's 37.5 points sitting on the bench there.
Yeah, a lot of point production.
Elle Evans for three. Her first shot, no good, but a stick back bucket on the interior by El-Tayeb.
As you mentioned, a lot of point production over there, but a portion of that has a heating pad on that left knee, which means let me get warm back up, because there's a strong likelihood I'm back in this game.
Inside to Hart. El-Tayeb was there defensively and gets the foul. So Sophie Hart will head to the line. Good to see El-Tayeb hitting the offensive glass there. Got inside of Briley Glenn for the offensive rebound, but commits the foul at the other end. So Sophie Hart will be at the free throw line. She's making her 71st straight start, third year with Minnesota, originally transferred from NC State, averaging almost 14 a game, the leading scorer on the season for this Gopher team. And again, plenty of experience for this Minnesota squad. Bring back basically 5 starters, lost 1 starter from a year ago and had Mara Braun start just 5 games before getting hurt. Won the WBIT last year, 5 games to win that tournament, and asked Coach Blitzu White whether or not that was a jumping off point for this year. She said, absolutely, this team won the postseason as Elle Evans drains her first 3 from the corner. And the Gophers call a quick timeout after the Kansas make as the lead goes to 14-5. But I asked her about winning the postseason tournament. kind of similar to what Kansas did a few years ago, Wayne. Won that WNIT tournament, propelled them the next year back in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and it's so impressive to win any postseason tournament, but even particularly a WNIT or a WBIT, because you have to fight the disappointment of not making the NCAA tournament. You were likely a bubble team. You were likely right there on the cuffs, maybe biting your nails a little bit during Selection Sunday and feeling like you've had the rug pulled out from under you, but then to respond in the right way where you have to win 5 consecutive games, getting extra basketball into April really serves teams well, especially when you can bring that type of experience and production back, which is what the Gophers has done.
And she said, oh, they didn't want to be there at first, right? When it was first selected, they weren't sure they were going to be playing basketball, but once they started, they played a lot better basketball, self-scouted some things, got hot, and it's carried over 100%, she says, into this season. Amaya Battle with the lay-in in the lane, and the Gophers get a bucket out of the timeout.
The big-time layup there by Battle as she split the double team and then reverse layupped that basketball with nice degree of difficulty, finishing high off that glass.
Knesset drive and kick. Libby Fandel for 3 off the iron, no good. Long rebound to Sophie Hart. Fandel, the three-point shooter out of Iowa, is yet to make one here down Fieldhouse. Wayne, you got to see one at T-Mobile Center on Saturday, but still waiting for Fandel to hit that first 3 in the home venue.
Yeah, well, Fandel, very much like Elle Evans, even though she was recruited with the reputation and the skill of being a sniper from behind the arc, still has the ability to impact the game in other areas. And she'll continue to do so as she's awaiting that first three-point make.
Riley Glenn jumps the passing lane, trying to go coast to coast, and is fouled, heads to the line. Foul on Laya Canessa. And Glenn there was trying to coax the and one, and didn't quite get it.
The savvy play there by the upperclassman, Briley Glenn, as she recognized that Iverson action running there across that free throw line. And we talked about her aggressive defensive nature a little bit earlier in the broadcast, and we got a first-hand look at that right there as she goes to the free throw line and is averaging 10 a game, and several of those points are a product of what she can do on the defensive end and turns those into offensive output.
Glenn, 3 seasons in Manhattan, averaged 7.6 points per game. Coach Plitzu-White said wanted an elite defender with some intensity, knew she'd been around a long time, played her at West Virginia, said recruited her even earlier than that, so kept in touch, brought her in to be an impact player off the bench for Minnesota. Lead back to 6. Jayhawks get it inside to Reagan Williams. Through a double team. Ball tipped away. McKinney comes away with the rebound for the Gophers.
I'm thinking of one of those timeouts here recently that we saw that was likely a defensive emphasis, as I'm seeing a lot more sense of urgency by these Gophers.
McKinney on the drive. Hart had the rebound, had it knocked away.
Nice job, Hart there, recognizing her blockout matchup. Elle Evans using her physicality to create an angle to get to that offensive rebound. And
another Jayhawk freshman checking in, Tatiana Brown, freshman forward from Colorado Springs, Colorado. She'll jump into the forward spot. Will be guarding the inbounder, Grholski. So 2 of the Jayhawk freshmen on the floor, 3 newcomers on the floor right now. Canessa whistled for the bump on Glenn out front, and that's going to be 2 on Canessa. And of course, Samaya Nichols checked out a few minutes ago. Will be able to come back in now to replace Canessa. Picks up foul number 2. Nice. Tonga back in for Minnesota, and in for the first time for the Jayhawks, Keely Parks, freshman guard out of Norman, Oklahoma.
You know, this one thing that maybe a couple of injuries can do for the Jayhawks is create a little bit of opportunity to get some of these young players going. As Keely Parks, a 5-star freshman, looking to get some valuable minutes here.
Braun, long 3, created a long rebound. Bodies on the floor. Parks comes away with it, now to Nichols. get Parks an open look for three off the front iron. A rebound to Braun. McKinney on the drive. May have had the foot slip, or maybe stepped on a foot. Looked like awkwardly was kind of going down toward the block, but no whistle, and back the other way. Certainly the Jayhawks keeping the Gophers in check, a team that's averaging 92 a game. And right now, Kansas holding them under double figures as Meister goes to work again.
Wow, and a big-time catch there by Meister in traffic, absorbing the contact and then staying on balance enough to be able to finish over that strong wall up.
And again, a Gopher team that scored no less than 88 on the season. So Fandel the steal. Braun tracks back and blocks it out of bounds. So Jayhawks doing a nice job defensively here in this opening half.
Nice pick and roll action here as we see the freshman Fandel does a nice job getting that ball to Meister, and great catch and finish there. And Fandel uses that to feed her aggression on the defensive end. Great hustle there by Brown, not giving up on the play for the chase down block.
Back screen for Nichols, defended well by Glenn. Nichols will swing it now. Here's Parks. Meister, backdoor cut. Brown wanted it. Brown got it. Off the high-low from Meister. Nice job cutting to the basket by Tatiana Brown for her first bucket.
Yeah, it was nice. She set the screen for Keely Parks. Keely did not recognize that open pass, but big high-low action. Lily Meister, who's been in that situation plenty of times before, rolling to the basket, not getting it, wanted to reward her teammate.
Parks got a hand on that one and nearly created a turnover. So Coach Brandon giving his approval to her defense. We've seen that from Meister already too, really good passer from the high post, or at that time, well beyond the three-point line. Battle against a double team, forced into a tough shot, missed it. Tonga the rebound, Brown got a hand on it and prevented a putback. So the Jayhawks, and impressing her about, how this game came about, and said, well, want a good matchup that's a little bit closer to home. You travel so much in the conference these days, they want to try to find this a shorter road trip than a lot of the conference games.
Yeah, certainly a fun regional match. And, I actually think that Kansas experienced that test against Missouri on Saturday. And as you assess the Gophers' schedule, haven't quite had that Power 4 matchup yet. And not only not had that matchup, but not had a real road test. And so those things are compounding right now in that difficult first quarter that's keeping Minnesota well off their 92-point average.
So again, their lowest scoring game was in their most recent game against New Jersey Institute of Technology, NJIT. McKinney buries the three, and they scored 88 in that one. So it's not like they're averaging 92 and had a couple of real lopsided, 110, 112. They're all right around 90 points, but 88 and up all season. So this Gopher team scores, and they share the basketball awfully well. And they're going to probably have to pick up a little bit of pace here in quarter number 2. Libby Fandel with the Keely Parks with the baseline jumper. Jayhawks have done a nice job in the post as well, trying to neutralize Hart down low. McKinney on the drive this time, using the window up and good. And McKinney with the three a moment ago, now 7 points after the lay-in.
Yeah, she's certainly getting it going, man. Took that one-on-one matchup right to Samaya Nichols, testing out the integrity of that knee. Nice right to left crossover, and she did a really good job, McKinney, in staying on balance even after the contact.
Tatiana Brown missed a shot from 12 feet. Long three fired up and off the mark from Mara Braun. McKinney, who's got 7, did not start the first 5 games when Braun was healthy, and then after the Braun injury, was in the lineup for the final 30 games last year. So McKinney and Braun both now in the starting lineup together, and again, a very veteran Gopher squad.
Yeah, good experience from that squad. Then also good length and athleticism is Keely Park's getting it going with her own back-to-back buckets as the Kansas bench erupts, as many have been waiting for her to do what they've all known she's been capable of, having to fight back from a lower leg injury from this summer that's got her maybe a little bit behind schedule.
Looks confident here today and just hit her first Jayhawk 3 for her career. Nice dribble and jump shot from Braun to answer. Actually, they'll call it they call it 2 for Parks. Now it is officially a 3.
How about the confidence from Braun on that one? The possession before, you shoot a long 3 that doesn't draw iron, and then you just have the aggressiveness and the competitiveness to go and shoot that mid-range jump shot and knock it down with zero hesitation.
Meister rattles in and out. Back the other way comes Minnesota. McKinney has Hart posting up down low. They can't quite find her. Krajolski on the handoff. Drives and kicks. Jayhawks holding down defensively again. McKinney, long 3, and that's pure. McKinney off to a start. She's got 10.
And McKinney is such a dual threat. You saw Reagan Williams maybe backed off of her, giving her a little bit too much space because she possesses the athleticism with the quick blow-by on the dribble drive. And that time, McKinney recognizing that space, shooting with that high follow-through right over the contest of Reagan Williams.
Pass intended for Williams, knocked away by Battle. McKinney came in with 3 made threes in 4 games, has 2 here tonight. Got the inside touch, little baby hook is off the mark. Maybe rushed a little bit for Hart, and trying to establish her lane in the paint.
Yeah, they certainly have, and the Kansas defense has done a really good job of keeping Hart uninvolved. As we saw early in the contest, they were sending immediate help anytime she caught the ball. And in that last possession, had a one-on-one matchup with Meister. Meister already with 2 blocks here tonight, doing a great job to wall up on Hart without fouling. Looks like there may have been a little bit of a deflection there, yeah.
Maybe not on the ball, but 3 gold jerseys around Meister, and it's a turnover back to the Gophers. Cut the lead to 5. Backdoor cut by Glenn, slips past Copeland in for the bucket. And now 7 straight points for Minnesota to cut the lead to 3. Parks off the screen. Meister turns, faces, now goes to dribble and picks up the foul on Tonga. First foul on Tonga.
Nice savvy move here by Lily Meister. She catches, reverse pivots, eyes on the rim just a little bit, just lifts Tonga up just enough to be able to create a driving angle and draws a good foul.
Meister will check out. Copeland, or excuse me, El Tayeb back in the Jayhawk lineup. Evans cut off by Grajolski. Now to Copeland, pick and roll for El Tayeb. Collision and a foul as Braun picks up the charging foul on El Tayeb. Time down on the floor. Jayhawk lead down to Western and at Missouri State. So there's a look at the upcoming Jayhawk schedule.
The Gophers coming out looking to keep this fast-paced second quarter going for them, as the Jayhawks thought they had their offense bottled up, giving trouble to Sophie Hart, but then Tori McKinney and Mara Brown getting it going offensively, getting it back in this game.
Points for the Gophers. They got it inside to Tonga. Meister holding strong that time. Back the other way come the Jayhawks. Hard screen from Reagan Williams and gets whistled for the foul. Williams will set a hard screen, and we've seen it a couple times where it's been more the fault of the teammates, not saying here's the oncoming screen, but Coach Brandon doesn't like the call.
And as we see there, it looked like Reagan Williams was set there for a pretty good while, but just maybe not as much communication
Yeah, McKinney did not see that one coming, and she's sitting on the floor, will be helped to her feet. And we'll check out.
Certainly a big-time collision there, as we hope to see Tori McKinney get some treatment and get back at it, because she's had a phenomenal start to this second quarter and has really been such an energizer for the Gopher team, both on the offense and the defensive end.
McKinney averaging 13 a game, has 10 here in the opening half. So in for the first time will be freshman McKenna Christian for the Gophers. Tonga on the inside, couldn't hit. Christian wearing number 35, the Wisconsin Player of the Year. Freshman, another one of their double-figure scorers who comes off the bench and is averaging almost 13 a game. Turnover here, here comes Braun. 2-on-2, stops, pops off the rim. Battle for the loose ball, be out of bounds to Kansas.
Nice job blocking out there by Lily Meister as battle for the Gophers got the deflection, and Brown was seeking in transition, looking to find space to get her shot. And I actually think that for the Jayhawks that Lily Meister has been the best player on the court, affecting all categories across the board. Three-pointer made, layup made, assists, blocks, fouls drawn.
Jayhawks have been scoreless for 4 minutes. They've turned it over 5 times over that span. Meister misses the shot here. They missed their last several shots as the Jayhawks scoring drought continues. Hart really trying to post up inside in the paint, and it will be a long time. 3+ seconds. I was wondering, she was really establishing herself down low, never got the basketball. And turnover back to Kansas.
And it's so difficult to want to leave that real estate, as Sophie Hart did a phenomenal job of fighting for post position. They just could not quite get the ball to her in time. And, you know, part of post defense is having elite perimeter pressure on the guards with high hands, not making it easy to pass in there.
Nichols turns and misfires on the shot, being defended there by Glenn, who just checked back in. Looked like she's got a bloody nose, got some gauze in one of the nostrils, hooked back in. Corner shot is a 2 for Grholski from the corner. Put on the line for 2, her first bucket. Grholski, another of the double-figure scores, averaging almost 12 a game. Got to double check that 3 because she's made 160 in her career. And we have a whistle and a foul going through the lane. Whistled on the Jayhawks.
Looks like there was some type of extra contact in the paint there, as Braun does a nice job with the dribble penetration, calls in the help, and great job finding Grholski over there in the corner for the catch and shoot 3.
Fandel was whistled for the foul. That's her first. Another attempt at a post play to Hart, knocked away by Williams. So the battle's on a little bit to establish the paint, Wayne.
Yeah, it really is. Well, the battle right now for the Jayhawks is finding a way not to turn the basketball over. As you mentioned, their scoring woes and paying the price.
For the lead. She knocks down the 3 after a close call at a 3 a moment ago. She's got 5 in a row, and Minnesota in front with a 12-0 run to lead it by 2. Timeout, Kansas.
You know, this is a part of their subtle ability on defense, is the ability to force turnover.
Defense with me said that not just looking at the turnovers in the offseason, but they want to make people uncomfortable, not just let them, she thought at times last year, let the teams run offense and they would go and rebound and do a decent job at that, but wanted to be more of a disrupting team this year, and certainly they've done that well here in the second quarter.
Certainly, we're seeing that manifest itself here tonight. Is some good news for the Gophers as Tori McKinney leaves the end of the bench and heads back to the front, signaling she's ready to get back involved, as Reagan Williams has a nice catch and finish there, ending that Kansas drought.
Nice job avoiding the contact as well on the drive for Williams. As the Gopher was there trying to draw a charge, did not get it. Braun picks up her dribble, tied now at 25. Baseline move for Battle against the double team. Throws it off the back of Evans and tipped it out of bounds to Kansas. As you mentioned, McKinney took the hard screen from Reagan Williams a few minutes ago, but she's going to be back into the lineup for the Gophers, leading the way in this one with 10.
It's good to see her back in the game and healthy enough to pick up Samaya Nichols here in the full court. And
4 games, 4 different top scorers for Minnesota. Jayhawks, of course, have had good balance as well. Nichols and Davis kind of leading the way. Elle Evans with a 20-point game at Missouri against Missouri on Saturday. Both teams can score the basketball, and then Reagan Williams doing some work in the lane and draws the foul.
And Reagan Williams played at the 5 position for most of the year last year, but now they've got her at the 4 with Lily Meister assuming that 5 role, and Jalea Davis playing at the 4 when she's healthy, which really allows the Jayhawks to take advantage of that 4 position, trying to find opportunities for them to post up and get easy baskets in the paint.
We talked to her a couple games ago. She said the benefit was being able to defend the 5. She did that a lot, and then her ability to use her quickness, even at that 4 position. We've seen her flying up and down the court to start the year. Doing a good job on both ends. Floater from Glenn is good.
And that's been Glenn's signature move her entire career, both at K-State and now here in the new Minnesota uniform for her.
I don't remember which player. One of the players that asked about the addition of Glenn, and she said, she's got a floater. Yeah, we saw that a few times in those matchups. Jayhawks and Wildcats. Good, strong drive once again for Samaya Nichols, and goes to her home away from home, the free throw line for the first time here tonight.
Home away from home, but as we saw her go out early in the contest, hitting her knee on the floor there's always a gasp of air leaving this building anytime she hits the deck.
So Nichols at the free throw line for the first time tonight. Again, made a habit of it a season ago where she went to the line 260 times. That's about 190 more than the second Jayhawk. This free throw is good, and this will be her 30th attempt so far this season. And shoots it in an 84% clip, even better than that this season. And knocks home a pair. Nichols out, Parks in for the final possession here of this opening half. Minnesota with the basketball will bring it up with McKinney. Gophers to run the motion. McKinney handling up top. Maybe trying to set up something inside. They do. They get the interior pass to Hart. Spins, immediately double team. Good help defense. Kick out McKinney for 3, and that'll be in and out at the buzzer. So Kansas gets the stop at the end. Back to the starting 5 for Kansas. Nichols, Evans, Copeland, Meister, and Williams. Inside, nice pick and roll that time. Gerholski on the drive to the bucket. She had a long 2-pointer, a 3, and then a quick bucket here to start the 3rd quarter. So she came alive after a quiet opening quarter.
The starts of quarters are my favorite because you get a chance to see coaches draw up plays, and when you see teams be assignment correct in their execution, you've got really good basketball.
Meister, 12 feet, just off the back iron. Nice high rebound that time from Braun on the interior. Brings it back, the guard for Minnesota.
And I really, really like Mara Braun. As she's not filling up the stat sheet, but you can certainly tell that she is the heart and soul of this Minnesota team with the effort and the energy that she plays with, as we see Samaya Nichols go down with a little too much contact.
Bumped by McKinney on the way up the floor, and then Nichols caught her teammate Reagan Williams on the way down. Everybody back up and okay. So you see Kansas kind of spreading the floor here on the offensive end, Wayne. They're operating in front of the Jayhawk bench here to start the 3rd, but out wide for Evans and Williams, and guess what that does? Opens up the lane for Samaya Nichols to drive. So certainly Little tactical maneuver there to open up the lane. Is that what we're looking to do here?
Yeah,
from
sure.
Coach
I mean,
Brandon's bench?
why not create space for your best player and your best playmaker, Samaya Nichols, who loves to get downhill with the right-hand dribble drive, is capable of finishing left, but you've got Sophie Hart, the interior defender, lined up on that left elbow, which creates space for Samaya Nichols to drive right to either get all the way to the basket or to draw a foul, like we saw in that possession.
Nichols knocks down a pair. She has 10 to lead Kansas here in this opening half. Nichols on the season averaging close to 20, also almost 7 assists to start the young year. Inside to Hart with the left hand, tried to avoid Meister. Couldn't get it to finish. Williams scoops in for the rebound. Nichols now will fire from 3 and hit. Minnesota backed off, and Samaya Nichols drains the 3.
Such a nice job. Samaya Nichols showing her full offensive capability, is just did a great job driving to the basket and then recognizing the defender, playing the drive on that possession earlier and raising up for the three-point basket. As we see Tori McKinney does a nice job of her own attacking the paint and drawing a foul.
So sagged off, that allowed the Nichols 3. Foul at the other end on Sanaya Copeland. Gophers starting their starting 5 here in the second half as well. Gerholski, Braun, Battle, McKinney, and Hart. There's McKinney, led the Gophers in the opening half with 10. Braun with 3 on the shot clock, drives the lane, stops and pops and gets the friendly roll. Over the rim for Mara Braun.
Really good job with her attacking the basket there, and with the difficult jump stop on balance, finishing over the smaller defender.
Braun represented the United States a few years ago, the U.S. 3v3 team. You know, she could fill it at both ends. How about Samaya Nichols showing a couple of long distance bombs here? Nichols with 16s. Foul before the shot. Whistled on Meister.
Yet again, great recognition there by Samaya Nichols, seeing the defender go under that screen, just allowing a little bit too much space there.
And up and down for 3 the other direction.
A nice shooting
And
exhibition here, right? As we see the 2 top players for each of these teams getting off, as Braun shows her fiery competitiveness with the big-time fist pump after that basket.
Nichols picks up the dribble, looking for help. Here's Evans. Meister down to Copeland. Reagan Williams for 3. That one's in and out. Long rebound to Battle. She'll bring it up court. Dishes to Gerholski, who fires a 3 up and good. Gerholski's second made 3. And she's in double figures with 10. And we're tied at 37.
She's been doing a great job having really good shot preparation, as Battle does a great job with the heads-up play. The good pitch-ahead cross-court is.
Meister whistled for the illegal screen up top. Kansas bench not a fan, but the foul on Meister will be a turnover back the other way, and Meister will have a seat. El Tayeb back in at a post position, and Libby Fandel, the freshman guard, checking in as well. Fandel replacing Copeland.
Such a frustrating foul for Meister there, as you already see you've got your sub waiting there at the bench. And I'm not sure if that was another screening call called there, as we got back-to-back, kind of back and forth.
So Tonga in quickly, commits the foul, out quickly, and Tonga picks up her 3rd. So Hart with the very quick breather, back on the floor at the 5 spot for Minnesota. 37 all.
I'll tell you what, I like the back-to-back 3s a lot better than the back-to-back screen fouls.
Yeah.
Just let them play a little bit.
Williams trying to get it to Nichols. Instead will swing it the other direction. El Tayeb picks up her dribble, gets it to Fandel. Fandel on the switch has the post player Hart. Her skip pass is ripped away by Braun. Braun going to work. Drives and kicks to Battle. Braun almost commanding the basketball now for this stretch, isn't she? And we have a 3-second violation inside. The second time tonight that's been called on Sophie Hart.
It was a really good defensive possession there by the Gophers. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to be converted into points as Glenn did a great job denying Samaya Nichols that basketball on that handoff action that was trying to be executed by Reagan Williams. And
Nichols with 8 at halftime, has 8 in this quarter, gets the assist here on the Evans three. So Elle Evans' second made 3 of the ball game. She's got 6 coming off the 20 against Missouri.
Yeah, she's shooting with a lot of confidence right now.
Braun gets a step, drives, doesn't fall, picks up the foul on El Tayeb for 2 free throws. Elle Evans, 2 of 3 now from the arc tonight, and now 14 for 23 on the season. She's right around that 60% mark from the arc to start the year. Fandel and El Tayeb out. Meister and Parks back into the Kansas lineup. Hart has a seat for the Gophers, and Holloway is in. Amaya Holloway, redshirt junior forward, wearing number 41. So Braun's at the free throw line, hits the first.
And I'll tell you what, Mara Braun's plan of attack is to attack. And it just puts so much pressure on the Kansas defense at all times, in transition, in the half court, being able to create shooting opportunities for herself. She does a great job playing off 2 feet, having her eyes up, able to find teammates.
Nichols deep in the lane, finds Meister on the cut. Meister, nice job going to the bucket. Nichols picking up back-to-back assists. And nearly got a poke away here. It's going to be whistled for the foul on the reach on the drive by Braun. With the Gophers, again, previously at West Virginia for 1 season, then 6 years at South Dakota, including 3 trips to the NCAA tournament. In Northern Kentucky and Grand Valley State, her other coaching stops. Got a good Gopher team here into Allen Fieldhouse for this non-conference showdown of 4-0 teams.
I haven't spent a lot of time in Minnesota, but I feel like they deserve a trip to the Bahamas with the types of winners they have to endure up there.
Evans in form right in front of the Jayhawk bench from the wing, splashes home the 3. 9 points on 3 of 4 from the arc. Braun off the screen, kicks it off to Glenn. Glenn for 3, trying to answer. No good, good box out by Meister, holding off Sophie Hart on the backboards. Look ahead pass intended for Williams, stolen away by Battle. Hart takes a step in, gets to the free throw line, and off the iron. Meister with the rebound. Samaya Nichols had 8 points in the 3rd quarter, 16 for the game to lead the Jayhawks. Meister missed the 3. Only double-figure score for Kansas. Nichols with 16, although Elle Evans with her 3 threes, knocking on the door with 9. Here's Glenn, the leaner, and gets it to fall.
There was that nifty floater again that we saw Glenn activate earlier in the 2nd quarter. She did a great job of changing speed, which is so difficult to guard, as she made the most out of that opportunity.
McConnell on the, McKinney, excuse me, on the grab of Samaya Nichols on the drive. McKinney picks up her 3rd.
We see a nice horns action here by the Jayhawks as Samaya Nichols does a nice job of staying on balance. Just long enough to draw that foul.
McKinney checks out with 3. And Grholski back off the Gopher bench. She's defending on Samaya Nichols. Nichols drawing 2 defenders, including Battle, who's whistled for the foul. Minnesota bench doesn't like it. Samaya Nichols will head to the free throw line for a pair.
Yeah, it looks like Battles did a nice job moving the feet there. Nice job on the wall up, but
just a little bit of lean. Is that what
a little bit of lean there with that body? Probably would have been better served at staying completely vertical. I think that was going to be a pretty difficult shot that Samaya was going to have to try to make. Got bailed out with that foul. Makes the Gophers pay with 2 free throws.
Nichols 6 for 6 at the line, 18 points. Comes in averaging 19.5 per ball game. And the Jayhawks playing without second leading scorer and the top recruit. Freshman Jalea Davis out tonight. Lower leg injury caused her to miss now her second game, not in a row. Played Saturday against Missouri, but unable to bounce back here tonight. Braun whistled for the travel and a turnover back to Kansas. There's a look at Davis wearing the walking boot on the left foot and missing the game. They're hopeful she'll be able to get healthier and healthier and be able to play, certainly when they play that holiday tournament coming up in Florida. If not on Sunday against Oral Roberts. Screen and roll, but Meister couldn't come away with it. Braun runs up court, spots for 3. Evans jumped out there and I think was a distraction, forced the errant 3. Kansas now 3-on-2 the other way. Braun got a piece of it. Williams gets it back off the glass and good.
And the pinball deflection, just perfect, finds Reagan Williams sprinting the court, as she very well could have given up on that play, thinking that pass was going to make it through the defender's hands, hitting Elle Evans for the easy layup.
Glenn for 3. That one short, out of bounds to Kansas.
Glenn going to save that pass. Actually started a fast break for the Jayhawks as Reagan Williams, right time, right place there, converting off the deflected pass.
And a whistle on a foul on Meister. Gets another moving screen. That's been a popular call tonight. And Meister picks up the foul, her 3rd.
Well, popular call with not much explanation. No, I really don't see much there. Usually the officials like to call that lean if you're not staying vertical inside your cylinder.
Gracholski for 3. Rebound. The freshman Parks comes away with it. Keely Parks has played well tonight. 5 points, 3 boards in 12 minutes for the freshman out of Norman, Oklahoma.
Yes, she certainly has. This is her most productive game of the season so far. She seems to be building some confidence with each and every minute she's out there.
Nichols with the fadeaway. And rebound to Minnesota. Parks also was, well, something won't show up in the scorebook, but a really nice help defense on the last possession of the first half to keep the Gophers off the board. Long rebound. Braun able to get it to McKenna Christian. Gracholski now trying to reset. Here's Glenn. Shot clock at 6. Looking for something. Braun will have to take the long 3. Can't hit it. Battle tracks in for the rebound. Skip pass to Christian. That ball is missed, and second and third chances come up empty for the visitors. Now with 5, here comes Nichols. Driving the lane. And tried to get the whistle. Amaya Battle comes over and gets the block to keep Kansas off the scoreboard, but the Jayhawks lead it by 6. Both looking for that tough Power 4 non-conference test, and they're getting it here tonight.
Yeah, we've seen both these teams have a lot of success coming out of quarters, scoring off their offensive sets. Let's see if they can keep up that offensive efficiency here to start the 4th.
Nichols had a really good third quarter. Had 10 of her 18 in the third. Turns it over, though, here into the backcourt. Over and back to Minnesota. Jayhawks, again, playing without Jalea Davis tonight, the lower leg injury. Also, for the most part, without Laia Canessa. Had 3 minutes in the first half, has kind of been relegated over to the exercise bike. She was injured in the Missouri game, so without two of their pieces here tonight. Graholski trying to get to Hart. Hart posting up strong against El Tayeb, who's playing with 3 fouls. Spins and turns, throws up the baby hook to beat the shot clock, but does not drop.
And you mentioned Laia Canessa getting many minutes tonight as she's trying to stay loose on the exercise bike. I think that Sanaya Copeland and Keely Parks have been really efficient with their minutes, and maybe coach not wanting to risk playing
right on cue. She's
right on cue. Here
running
she is.
to the scorer's table.
Yeah.
I was with you. I thought maybe they were just going to say if there's a lead and there's no foul trouble, you kind of preserve her tonight. McKinney driving hard to the hole and falls hard in the foul from Samaya Nichols, and we'll get 2 free throws. There's a look at Laia Canessa, the junior out of Barcelona, Spain. Her evening not done. She'll check back in for Nichols. Nichols picked up her 3rd. Also, Elle Evans back in the Kansas lineup, replacing Copeland.
We got Tori McKinney going to the free throw line for 2, and she's been a really efficient two-way player here. She's had the difficult assignment of having to guard Samaya Nichols. Actually, her solid defense there to start that 4th quarter forced a turnover by Nichols. But then using her shifty speed to be able to get a good dribble drive there to force a foul.
First points of the second half for McKinney. She has 12. Parks, long jumper is off the mark. Hart with the rebound. And the Gophers have had 4 different leading scorers in their 4 games. They average 92 a game, and say they don't really have a leading scorer night in, night out. It's hot hand, it's everybody contributing, and you see Mara Braun doing it there.
Love the 2-dribble pull-up right there.
Cut it back to 2. Braun now with 11-9 here in the second half. Williams on the drive is whistled for the traveling violation. Turnover back to the Gophers.
Yeah, I think Reagan Williams was holding out a little bit of hope that that whistle would be a foul, but it looked like she was well out of control before that contact was initiated.
Meister back in for Kansas, Tonga for Minnesota, the 5 spot respectively. Both playing with 3 fouls. McKinney tries to pass. Graholski, nice job coming to get it. And then with the drive and dish for the Tonga bucket. And we're tied at 49.
And a great heads-up play there by Graholski is usually she comes off that screen playing behind the 3-pointer. Did a great job on the dribble drive, forcing the help, and then recognizing Tonga was going to be open there on the roll.
6 straight points for Minnesota to tie this game at 49. Meister the turn inside and 1. Picks up the 4th foul on Tonga, and Meister will be at the free throw line.
Lily Meister continues to have her fingerprints on this game, does a great job keeping that dribble alive and finding that small angle just around Tonga to be able to finish with a nice right-hand jump hook.
Meister misses the free throw, would have given her double figures. 9.6 rebounds for the Indiana transfer. Bothered the shot of Glenn on that occasion. Back comes Canessa up court to Meister. Back to Williams, and now Elle Evans, who's got 3 threes. And everybody getting a touch this trip. Shot clock under 10. Evans to work. She gets the floater on the baseline. Elle Evans in double figures with 11.
And a great effort there by Elle Evans, being denied that handoff. Really good patience there by Reagan Williams and not trying to force the issue on that first attempt. And the savvy veteran Elle Evans getting the backdoor cut for the easy finish.
Battle the drive is fouled on the perimeter by Reagan Williams. second on Williams. Second team foul on Kansas. The veteran Battle in making her 101st start for Minnesota tonight. Seniors approaching 1,200 points and over 500 assists. Just the 5th player in school history to do that. The point guard duties for the Gophers, averaging better than 5 assists on the season. Ball's out of bounds, and Minnesota will maintain. Shot clock under 10. Grholski trying to take it towards Knessa. Tough shot in the lane. Drips out. Knessa the rebound with the head up. Into the front court. Parks off the screen for 3. Too strong. Meister comes for the rebound. And a second chance opportunity for Kansas.
You know, Meister came away with that rebound, but I actually think that Elle Evans should get credit for that as she came skying in and tipped it away from the Gopher defender.
Meister on the roll, and the assist from Knessa. So 6 straight points for the Gophers, answered by 6 straight now for Kansas.
And just when you think you're not sure if Knessa's going to get back in the game, as she spent a lot of time over there on that bike trying to keep that knee warm, she comes in and has a couple big-time plays.
And the Gophers would like timeout. We'll take it as well. 5:22 to go here in the 4th. Kansas by 6. There's a brief 2-point lead in the second quarter. And we've had 4 ties here in the second half. Good ball game here, heading down to the final 5 minutes or more. The turnover here on the bounce. Battle turned it over. Knessa ripped it away. Knessa stays in the lineup now with Samaya Nichols, who's checked back in. So 2 good ball handlers on the floor for the Jayhawks. Meister, Williams, and Evans also in the Kansas lineup. Gophers back to their starting 5. Battle, Braun, McKinney, Grholski, and Hart. Here's Knessa on the drive through 2. Gophers flips it up, and it's off the rim. No good. Battle with the rebound. Battle, 9th board. She's had some double-figure rebound games. The point guard at 5'11" for the Gophers, a very good rebounder. Braun the miss. Meister the rebound for Kansas.
You mentioned Battle being a do-it-all type of guard, as you highlighted her resume a little bit earlier, and it's so exciting to be able to celebrate accomplishments like that, especially in an era where so many student athletes are transferring, and that's not a knock on the transfer portal. I love it, but I'm also excited to see 4-year players lock in and have the type of career that she's had.
Evans on the drive, hit the floater there a moment ago, couldn't get it to drop this time. Yeah, Battle, the point guard's got 3 double-digit rebound games in the 4 so far. She's sitting at 9 here tonight. Braun the stop in the lane and gets it to drop. Braun, a nice second half for the Gophers. She's got 13, 11 here in the second.
A really nice concentration there. She brought the ball up in transition, looking to pass.
McKinney tried to jump the route and fouls Samaya Nichols. That's going to be a big foul, number 4 on McKinney. Timeout. Riley Glenn will check back in, the K-State transfer. She'll defend now on Nichols. Nichols on the drive. Down the lane, draws the foul on Hart. Got a step on Glenn and kept on moving down the runway. Samaya Nichols back to the free throw line.
Yeah, such a difficult guard. As you see the ghost screen there by Knessa, and you talked about Glenn drawing the defensive assignment, Tori McKinney also bearing the brunt of that, but really a player as dynamic as Samaya Nichols, it's a everyone's guarding assignment.
Nichols hits the free throw. And splashes home the second. 8 for 8 at the line for Nichols. 20 points once again for the Jayhawks, as she's got 12 here in the second half. The lead back to 6. Gracholski, corner 3, hits the side of the backboard, but Hart tracks it down. Braun straight on, long distance, short, long rebound. Minnesota tracked it down. Williams looked like she's going to try to escort it out of bounds. A nice job by Gracholski to keep it alive for the Gophers. Braun guarded by L. Evans. Tough fadeaway shot left of the lane, rebounded by Meister.
And the Gophers desperately needed that basket as Gracholski had a big-time effort keeping that possession alive. As now the Gophers are having to compete not only against the Jayhawks, but against the time and score. As Coach Snyder undoubtedly is going to try to coach his team into longer possessions to eat into that clock.
29th 20-point game for Samaya Nichols, her 4th of the season. Shakes off McKinney. Can't hit the open shot, but Reagan Williams gets the rebound. No whistle on that last contact. McKinney playing with 4 fouls. Guarding Nichols. Shot clock down to 4. You hear the crowd behind us counting it down. Nichols 3 off the iron. Gracholski brings it back. Braun inside to Hart. Hart on Meister. Tried to get it over the left shoulder and got it to drop.
It's amazing to say this, but that's Sophie Hart's first field goal of the game, who came in as the leading scorer for this Gophers team. Kansas doing a great job of emphasizing its defensive plan of attack around her.
Ball off the foot of Hart on the bounce. McKinney will come out of the pack with it and lay it in. As you mentioned, Hart's first bucket. It's not for lack of trying. The Gophers have tried to force feed the post, and Jayhawks have done a really good job of keeping her in check, but Minnesota's back within 2.
Yeah, the Gophers refusing to go away.
Timeout, Kansas. 1:13 to go. Jayhawks lead it by 2. So McKinney off the almost triple team of Nichols. See a third Gopher in the picture there. And Battle to the floor to poke it away. McKinney gets the lay-in and now leads the Gophers with 14.
Battle doing a fantastic job of eyes to us because she's a point guard with a high rebound volume total, but she actually leads this team in rebounds at 9 a game.
Nichols to inbound. 20 points, 12 in the second half of the Jayhawk all Big 12 point guard. They'll reset. Shot clock under 10. Meister the high screen. Nichols driving downhill. Double teamed. Finds an open Williams, who hits the reverse lay-in. Good composure by Reagan Williams. Had to go underneath the basket to make that one finish.
Yeah, it's such a great job by Samaya Nichols, who's not only their leading scorer, but the leading.
McKinney the drive. Couldn't get it to fall. Gracholski ties up Nichols. Possession arrow will point back to Minnesota.
And Nichols not only the leading scorer, but also the leading assist player for the Jayhawks, refusing to force up a tough 2 over the double team, finding Reagan Williams with that nice bounce pass.
So Minnesota on the inbound. Get it to McKinney. Down 4. Bounce inside to Hart. She's got the mismatch on Evans. Goes to the left hand, up and good. 2-point ball game again. Shot clock differential you see there, just about 6 seconds, so Kansas can't take it all the way down. Gophers trying for a stop. Nichols off the screen. She's going to drive the lane with the left hand, draws the bump, throws it up, and doesn't get it to fall, but 2 free throws once again for Samaya Nichols. Braun on the foul. Look how she creates with her strength. once again through the lane.
And I absolutely love this. It's one of the benefits that both of these teams have offensively in playing that possession in front of their bench. Coach Snyder directed the play call, hey, don't give it up, Samaya. We're not running anything. You keep the ball to the end of that shot clock, extend the possession, and then go make it happen.
So Nichols back to the free throw line. 10.2, shot clock is off. Kansas by 2. Make it 3.
As we see the Kansas team all leave that free throw line area, get back trying to keep the ball in front of them. Up 4, they just need to play without fouling. As we get a timeout from the Gophers, ball advances. We'll see if they can draw up a play to.
So Nichols makes it a 2-possession game. Inbound, and they're going to get a whistle and a foul on Sanaya Copeland on the push on Battle. Just the 3rd foul for Kansas. Braun. Gracholski off the mark for 3 and out of bounds. Kansas will call timeout to advance to midcourt. So Kansas will spread the floor. They will inbound near their bench with Lily Meister, but 2 players on each side of half court, 2 deep in the backcourt for Kansas. Meister looking for help. Gets it inbounds to Nichols, who's fouled by McKinney. That'll be the 5th on McKinney with 14 fouls out. 4th time in 5 games she's been in double figures. Samaya Nichols continues at the free throw line. And hits them both. Samaya Nichols, 12 for 12 at the stripe tonight. 24 points. Arndt knew it was going to be a close, hard-fought game. Braun turns down the 3. Instead, will take a floater from 15. Miss it. Rebound to Meister. Evans will hang on, and Kansas will close it out. 63-57. The win here tonight for Kansas to improve to 5.